4 V8 luxury sedans and 1 question. Which uses the least fuel at high speed? In today's BeamMG challenge, we're going to find out as we drive these cars around the Autobahn with just 5 litres of fuel in the tank to test their economy. Today's challenges are the ETK 900, the ETK S-Series, the Procyon Avior, and the Ibishu Serenity. All these car mods are free, and yes, we are using the demo version of the Avior. They all have similar size V8 engines, but there's decades between them, so the results should be interesting. Our testing ground is the Autobahn 57K map. It's 57 kilometers of high-speed Autobahn, plus there's traffic for us to avoid. The last time I drove around here, it was on a live stream, and let's just say the traffic was a little bit problematic. Whoa! We're starting with the ETK 900. This is the 948 TT Sport with a 545 horsepower, 4.4 litre V8. I've filled it with just 5 litres of fuel, and we can check our fuel consumption with the trip computer down here, and we can see the fuel dropping with this digital fuel gauge. So let's reset the car, reset the trip computer, and off we go. Now this car has a great sounding exhaust. I really, really love it. But it's actually one of the few ETK 900s with a V8 engine. We do have a 7-speed gearbox though, so hopefully it's pretty economical. I'm going to set the cruise control for 200. That is the speed we're going to target in all of the test runs today to keep it a bit scientific and fair across all the different cars. Now the traffic can be a little bit annoying. They like to stop in the middle of the road or stop in different lanes, block them, and we've kind of got to avoid them today, which adds to the challenge. But the Autobahn 57K map is great. There's lots of uphill and downhill sections, as well as flat bits, so we can really test the economy of this car in different situations. Now, what is quite weird about the ETK 900's gearbox is that it's quite unsure what gear to cruise in. So it's changing, I think, between 5th and 6th gear. It's hard to tell. Whoa! Everyone stopped up here. Come on. Right, accelerate again and back up to 200. That is probably going to happen a couple of times on each run. Okay, 4.5% fuel left. We've done 6 kilometers. Our average fuel consumption so far is 23.3 litres per 100 kilometers. I will convert the units a bit later in the video so everyone knows with their frame of reference in their country what it is in metric or imperial units. But so far, we're not doing too bad. The car feels quite economical. That fuel readout isn't going down too quickly. We've still got 4% left. This car is a great, comfortable cruiser. I love the mod. Maybe there will be updates and improvements in the future. Maybe the mod creator could try and fix the cruise control support for the gearbox. I don't know. Cruise control interferes with it a bit, makes it a bit weird. But most of the 900s are like straight 6 powered or V12 powered. This thing with its V8 engine is quite unique in the config list. Right, we're coming up to a hill now, but what goes up must come down because we have a downhill section up here and I can't see. It's a blind hill. Okay. Oh, cars ahead. Cars ahead. Accelerate. Whoa! Brake! Brake, brake, brake. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Right. Accelerate up again. I think we're all right. Well, somehow we managed to get past that without too much damage. This is a big downhill section, and I reckon the fuel consumption is going to drop rapidly. Yep, 20.5, 20.4. It's dropping really quickly. Whoa, car in the emergency lane. What are you doing there? Accelerate again. Oh, this is going to really harm the fuel consumption, but it's probably going to happen at least a couple of times where we have to slow down and speed up again across all the cars today. I suppose that's quite authentic Autobahn driving because, trucks like to pull out into the overtaking lane. Slow VW Golfs like to slow up like Audi drivers and BMW drivers just on purpose. So, whoa! That was close. I guess this is quite a realistic test. Okay, we're down to 1.1% of fuel left. When the fuel gets really low, the engine will start spluttering and we're going to lose power. I don't know what that's going to do to the fuel economy. Oh, there's a truck in the way. There's a truck in the way. Come on, get through. Oh my goodness. Right, 0.6% of fuel left. We're on the last stretch. The engine is definitely spluttering. I can feel it jerking around now. 0.1%. We must be close now. Now, when we run out, I'm just going to stop. I'm going to brake as hard as possible. Oh, there we go. 0. What are we running on now? We must be running on fumes. When is the engine going to cut out? There you go. Engine disabled. Brake, 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 and pause. Whoa, we did it. Okay, that is 20.9 litres per 100 kilometres. We travelled 23.9 kilometres, and our average speed was 188.9. Wow, the ETK 900 did a pretty good job, and considering we crashed a couple of times, look how little damage we have. That is unbelievable. Like, the mirrors dropped off, but that's about it. Next up, it's the ETK S-Series. This is the predecessor to the ETK 900, and we are in the S8 TT Sport. This is very similar to the 900. It even has the same engine, 4.4 litre V8, but 548 horsepower, so a little bit more powerful. I do think the interior looks a little bit more outdated, but it's still really nice. So, let's get this show on the road. Reset the car, reset the trip computer, and off we go. Wow, a bit of banging from the exhaust there. Okay, I need to set the cruise control for 200. And there we go. Now, it seems this car has a much smaller, I think, fuel tank, because it says 9% of fuel left, but I definitely filled it with just 5 litres of fuel. Now, unlike the ETK 900, the gearbox in this car doesn't have that glitch where it's constantly changing gears. So we could have a much more economical car here. Well, 6 kilometres in, and what's our fuel consumption? 14.8. Wow. Okay. This car is looking a lot more economical than the 900 already. We are storming along and the traffic is playing nice this time around. Maybe they've just got it in for the ETK 900. Whoa. Oh, the wing mirror. So yeah, this car has a smaller fuel tank because it's more economical. I mean, they have the same engine. What's going on here? That's really weird. Uphill, is it going to change gear? It's using a bit more throttle, but it's not changed gear. And now we're going downhill, so the fuel economy is going to really get better. 13.6, 13.5. This is like night and day, this car, to the other one. And actually, I think this car is a better cruiser than the ETK 900. The 900's suspension is very floaty, and you don't really feel like the wheels are connected to the ground, whereas in this, it's got a bit firmer suspension, and you can kind of push it into the corners and feel, feel the body roll. Whoa, no, right, okay, we knew it was going to happen eventually. Well, the turbo is spooling up as we climb to the top of this hill. We're down to 5.2%, 5.1% fuel left, and the ETK S-Series just kept going and going and going. Okay, we're down to about 2% of fuel now. I need to stop taking my eyes off the road. But this car, well, I think we could have a winner here already, but I don't know. Whoa, those older cars may have really good fuel economy. Let's see. Whoa, wind out everybody. I hate when they do that, when they start merging and kind of forcing you between two cars. That is difficult. Oh, the AI really do make it pretty tricky, this challenge, but I'm enjoying it, you know. This is an interesting experiment. Right, 1% of fuel is left. We're really coming to the end now, but the car is still driving fine, no spluttering. The damage doesn't seem to have done anything to the wheels or the engine. Yeah, the car's starting to jerk around a bit. 0.2% left. We're so close. 0.10%. Okay, get ready to brake and read those figures. Here we go. Engine disabled any second now. Any second. There we go. Brake. Brake, 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 brake. Oh, the brakes aren't as good as I thought they'd be in this car. Okay. Pause the game. And what is... The total distance was 42.7. That's pretty good. Average speed, 197.3. Average fuel consumption, 11.7. And a quick damage check. Well, it's about the same as the ETK 900, except it's this mirror that's broken. Yeah. Wow, we haven't had a big crash today yet. Time for the Procyon Avior, and yes, this is the free demo that's available on the repo. But it doesn't really matter because all the versions of the Avior have exactly the same engine. It's a 4-litre V8 that produces 249 horsepower. Bearing in mind this is a free mod demo, the interior is amazing. Now, this is a 90s car, not quite as old as the Serenity, but a lot older than the ETKs. Okay, let's reset the car, reset the trip computer, and off we we go. Okay, this car's a lot slower than the ETKs, but I do like the engine. It's got quite a bit of grunt, and it's a really nice cruiser. So out onto the Autobahn. Smooth so far, not being blocked by any traffic. Can we put the antenna down? Let's check. I don't think I can. I can't see the button. Is that a paid version only feature? Anyway, up to 200 kilometers per hour. Cruise control is on. And let's go. What I like is that it really does feel like a much more old school car. It's very floaty. There's not much feeling through the steering, and it's great that BeamMG mods can do that. I really feel like I'm in an older, slightly larger, more floaty car. Climbing the hill. Whoa! Climbing this hill, and the car is struggling to maintain speed. We had a close call there. Come on. Keep it going. This is going to really drain the tank. Look at the fuel consumption, 29.1. Oh dear, that's bad. 29.5, it's coming up still. That's really bad. Not again. Not again. Come on, guys, get out the way. Right, 2% fuel left. 31 litres per 100 kilometres. This is not an economical car so far. We could have a loser here. We've only got 5 kilometers of range left, and it feels like, oops, it feels like we've just started. This is bad. Getting up this hill, pretty difficult in this car. Whoa, brake a bit. Whoa, what are we doing, everybody? What are we doing? Okay, we're actually accelerating downhill, which is kind of bad. Engine spluttering. I'm struggling to keep the speed up. Come on! You need to change down or something. What are you doing, gearbox? There you go. There you go. That's not helping either. 0.1% left. Here we go. We're coming to the end. Going uphill. This is bad. And engine disabled any second now. There we go. Brake, 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 brake. And pause. Right, we covered 18 kilometers. Average speed 186.1. So it's actually quite difficult to keep the speed up. And then average fuel consumption 27.8. Oh boy. That's bad. Again, the Avior is not badly damaged. We've lost a mirror, and that's about it. So let's hope the Serenity has as smooth a run. Being from the 1980s, the Ibishu Serenity is the oldest car we're checking out today, but this is the 4-litre EX model, and it has much less power than the other cars, just 173 horsepower. Now, will that help us, or will it hinder us in getting good fuel economy? Let's find out. We're going to reset the car and reset the trip computer, and off we go. Yeah, this is quite slow. Out onto the Autobahn, get past the traffic, and off we go. What I have noticed is that the Serenity has a bit firmer steering than the Avior, and I think the suspension is firmer too. It feels a bit sportier, actually. What's going on with the mirrors? Can you see that? The mirrors are not working at all. The dynamic reflections just don't seem to be working, but this mod hasn't been updated for quite a while, so that might be the reason. However, I really do like the Serenity. You know, it's got a beautiful interior, even in this weird red with the mahogany wood. We've got digital gauges, and it is quite unaerodynamic. You know, 1980s car, very boxy. It has those fender wing mirrors up there. They can't be helping our fuel economy. We're about to hit some hills, which will slow us down with this lack of power. Yeah, we're slowing down, and the engine is straining, but 25 litres per 100 kilometres so far, that's better than the Avior was. The other Serenity that's available in the mod, I think, is a V12, so that would have been a bit unfair in the challenge. You know, I wanted to select 4 cars that were similar in some way, and they, you know, they all have V8 engines. Whoa! They're all luxury vehicles, albeit from different decades and different companies. And if you guys like this kind of video, I'd be happy to compare the cars in different ways in the future, like maybe a performance test or a speed test. Oh no! There's a car on the line! Oh, that was close. We still haven't lost a wing mirror. I think every car had to slow down at least once. Whoa. So yeah, it does make it fair that I have to slow down in every car. Here we go, the downhill section. Nice. What a beautiful view. Oh, that's not good. Okay, hopefully there's no one else in the emergency lane. And set the cruise control to 200. There we go. Let's check the fuel economy. 27.4. Still not terrible. Definitely better than the Avior was. Oh, 2 cars in the emergency lane. Why did I do that? I've actually turned parked cars off, so it doesn't really make sense. Nearing the end of the challenge now. 1.3% fuel left. That's not a lot left in the tank. 0.4% left. The engine's stuttering. This is it. This is it. Goodbye, old friend. I don't think the Serenity has done a very good job here, but will it be better than the Avior? Let's find out. 0% fuel left, and engine disabled. Brake. Whoa, the brakes are very, very weak. Pause the game. And 25.7 litres per 100 kilometre. We did a distance of 19.4 and the average speed was 182. So yeah, pretty low and basically no damage at all on the Serenity. So the results from worst fuel economy to best. The Procyon Avior came last with 27.8 litres per 100 kilometres, and I put other units on screen. The Ibishu Serenity did a little better at 25.7 litres per 100 kilometers. In second place, it's the ETK 900 with 20.9 litres per 100 kilometers. So the newest car didn't win. And in first place, amazing results for the ETK S-Series, 11.7 litres per 100 kilometers. Nearly twice as good MPG as the ETK 900. So what do you think caused the ETK 900 to lose this challenge to the S-Series? Was it the dodgy gearbox? Was it my driving? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you have any more ideas for challenge videos like this, I'd love to hear them in the comments, and let me know your thoughts on this style of video. It's a little bit different to the stuff I normally do. But if you'd like to see my review of the ETK 900, click the video on the left of the screen. And if you'd like to see my review of the Procyon Avior, click the video on the right hand side of the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon for some more simulator adventures.